Welcome back to the friendly confines of Phil Welch Stadium here in beautiful St. Joseph, Missouri. Today we have Mink League action between the Warren County Crop Dusters and your St. Joseph Mustangs. Todd Mundo joined alongside Charlie Marshall. And Charlie, this is essentially game 2 of a 3-game series against the Crop Dusters. And yesterday was a game to forget, even though we won 19-9. It was a pretty forgetful game for both teams, just a lot of free passes. Today, what should we expect?
Well, I would hope that we're going to see a lot more strikes today than we saw yesterday. As yesterday, like you mentioned, lots of free passes. We had a total of 12 batters get hit, which is, absolutely mind-boggling when you really think about it. Tonight, I would expect both teams to emphasize trying to get back in the zone so we don't see a repeat of what happened last night.
And we're looking at two guys at the top of their rotation. Roy Holcomb pitching for your Mustangs and Bobby Youth pitching for the Crop Dusters. We'll break them both down in a bit, but guys that usually find the zone, and that's something we should look forward to. We're going to take a quick break for the national anthem, and we will be back with a starting lineup for the Crop Dusters when we come back. Welcome back to the friendly confines of Phil Welch Stadium. You just heard the national anthem and a special tribute to Max Stevenson's father, the pitching coach for the Mustangs. His father tragically passed away yesterday, and he shared a very nice note. We had a moment of silence. It was very special, and I think he hopes to honor his dad with a win here tonight. He's out here, probably going to be over 6,000 fans. Very special night here for Max Stevenson, and really hug a loved one, because you never know how long they'll be here. On a more baseball-related note, let's get into the starting lineups for the Warren County Crop Dusters. Leading off, Archer Ogborn. Batting second, Alex Matchey. Eli Ellsbecker hitting third. Caden Samler to follow. Jack Petit, he's playing left. Tyler Mayer batting sixth. Carson Chiprez batting seventh. Diego Morales batting eighth. And DJ Harris rounds out the starting line. That is the starting lineup for the Warren County Crop Dusters. And we mentioned on the mound is going to be Roy Holcomb. Charlie, tell me a little bit more about Roy.
Well, we're going to flash Roy Holcomb for you. And Holcomb on the year has been one of the better starters for this Mustangs pitching staff. Now, his last outing was 10 days ago, and it didn't go quite his way, as that was really his only bad outing of the year. He threw 4 innings, gave up 8 hits, 5 earned runs, but still only walked 1. Now, going into his last start, he had an ERA at about 1.38, so you can see what that did to his ERA. But really, every stat that we're showing you is very promising for Holcomb, except for that opponent batting average. That's the only mild concern you have for Holcomb, is that he tends to get hit around just a little bit. 311 is higher than what you would like to see from your starting pitcher.
And it's been a trend, although Mustangs still pulling out wins, a lot of Mustang starters have not had success, especially at home. We mentioned Landon Reith yesterday, Aaron Harrington, a guy who had a sub-1 ERA, got lit up for 8 runs against Clarinda. So let's hopefully to see that turn around. First pitch from Holcomb to Archer Ogborn. He shows bunt, but the pitch is upstairs. And interestingly, we have Archer Ogborn as the taco hitter, as the leadoff man. First time we've seen that all year.
Yeah, you don't typically see the leadoff hitter be the taco man.
That one lined past the diving Jordan Black.
Yeah, Ogborn hitting under 200 on the year, hitting under 170, but that was a great swing. Hit that one extremely hard.
That's pretty close to a perfect, Charlie. Let's going to bring up Alex Matchey now. Matchey, the most experienced hitter in this Crop Dusters lineup today, in terms of at least Mink League play. He leads the team in at-bats. There goes Ogborn. Throw from Dom Felix is in time. So that single becomes moot as Dom Felix hoses Archer Ogborn at second.
Yeah, we've seen Dom Felix's arm a lot this year, although at times he hasn't gotten there quick enough. Right there with plenty of time, throw was perfectly thrown on the money.
So now with no one on, Alex Matchey is even in the count 1-1.
Matchey also leads the team in RBIs. There's 20 of them.
Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball misses downstairs, 2-1. Matchey, 18 hits, only 3 doubles.
Well,
4-1 count now to Matchey.
That's why Matchey's slugging is a little lower. His slugging kind of down compared to the rest of the team, or not compared to the rest of the team, compared to the rest of the league. It's about a 284, not as high as you would like it, although still higher than the crop dusting team average, as their slugging is their slugging is up to 292 after yesterday's performance.
Yeah, we can talk about yesterday's performance. It was a tale of 2 games, but the underlying story was the same. Pitchers could not throw strikes when they needed to. Both sides.
Yeah, it was the completely different halves of the game. The first half was all crop dusters out to a 9-1 lead, and then the second half was all Mustangs since they spread them in 7 innings, 19-9. I mean,
that one awkward swing grounded the second baseman Schrack, and he makes the play. So 2 up, 2 down here for Roy Holcomb in a bit of an unorthodox fashion.
Yeah, and Schrack looks so nice at second base. I mean, they move him around a lot, but he really does look like he's comfortable at second base, which is good because a player like him going to Arkansas, second base might be where he's going to get the most time at.
Yeah, and if you're going to Arkansas, if you're going to be their starting shortstop, you got to be really good. And that's something that maybe he works towards, but you don't come into a D1 power program like that being like, oh, yeah, I will be your starting shortstop.
Yeah, no matter how good you are. And again, Schrack hit over 400 for Coffeyville last year, so he is very talented, but still, a school like Arkansas is not one to talk down on.
So Eli Ellsbecker in a 1-1 count here to Roy Holcomb. Breaking ball from Holcomb, misses down and in.
The lineup tonight for the Crop Dusters way different than what we saw last night, which is kind of surprising because at this point in the season, you'll typically see some familiar faces.
Good breaking ball from Holcomb. It's 2-2.
But not the case tonight, as for the Crop Dusters, it's a completely new 9. Something we don't see very often, Tyler.
Here's the 2-2 pitch to Eli Ellsbecker. That one misses downstairs, so Holcomb having trouble finding that breaking ball early. And hopefully he can figure it out. But you did mention, Charlie, a whole new starting 9, and it's for a team that is still in the playoff hunt. You know, Nevada, a team that's already been eliminated, I could see them moving some guys around, but it doesn't really make sense here. That one lined. Holton going to catch it on a hop. Bodies it. Close play at first, and Mason Holton retires Eli Ellsbecker. So a 1-2-3 inning for Roy Holcomb, and we go to the bottom of the first. Keep it here at Phil Welch Stadium. Welcome back to Phil Welch Stadium. Tyler Mundo and Charlie Marshall on the call. And while we have the chance, let's look at the starting lineup for your St. Joseph Mustangs. Leading off, Darius Freeman, Trevor McCullum to follow, Carson Schrack batting third, Ike Book making his return to the lineup, Dominic Felix, the staple catcher for this Mustangs, batting fifth, Mason Holton in the sixth spot, Easton Bruce in left hitting seventh, Jordan Black at third base, he's batting eighth, and Jackson Glick is your number 9 hitter for tonight.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Glick in the 9-hole. As his last at-bat was a base-clearing triple. A player who struggled a little bit this year, hasn't been as dominant as I thought he would be. But last night, really played a phenomenal game. Had 4 RBIs, 2 runs scored, only 1 hit, but it was at a huge time as it cleared the bases.
Glick doesn't have a home run yet, but that ball certainly had the distance if it was hit anywhere else in the stadium, really. So leading off is Darius Freeman. He's set to face Bobby Youth. Freeman batting .315 on the year, OBP of .471, and a slugging of .491, good for an OPS around the .870 mark. Looks like a cutter of some sort. That one misses outside to Freeman. Also, Charlie, it's the bottom of the first. We haven't mentioned Taylor Swift night.
Yeah, Taylor Swift night here at Phil Willett Stadium. It's also Missouri Western night. So 2 different kind of theme nights here, and that has packed the crowd, along with it being a Saturday night and fireworks. A lot of reasons to come out to Phil Welch tonight.
I would say our previous record for attendance this season about 4,500. I say this beats it by a couple thousand.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no open seats here. This is incredible, and there's probably 1,000 more people out in the party deck and out there by the bounce house. Here's the 2-1. This one by Freeman hit decently well at the center field, going back on his Archer Ogborn. But he makes the play in medium deep center field, so Freeman with a good ride, but nothing to show for it. Trevor McCullum digs in now.
For what it's worth, before tonight, the most attendance, most people we've seen at a game this year was the 4th of July, and that was versus the Sedalia Bombers. We saw 4,355 fans in attendance.
And for the Mink League, the Mustangs are a clear outlier. If you look at the attendance for other teams at home, it is nowhere near what the Mustangs get. I think I saw Carroll got 555 once, and others get less than 100.
Yeah, the Crop Dusters have 2 games this year above 1,000 fans.
That one fouled back by McCullum. But with the Mustangs, it's so much more than a college baseball summer ball league. It is a whole presentation, a whole show, and really a really great family outing for a lot of people.
Yeah, it attracts much of the city of St. Joe, and for good reason. It really is a great time every time you're able to make it out.
And really, Charlie, as I'm calling these games, seeing the fans, it feels like I'm calling like an indie ball game or almost like a minor league game, which is incredible for a bunch of college kids, the D2, D3 level. McCullum lines that one past Tyler Mayer. So the first hit for the Mustangs belongs to Trevor McCullum.
Good piece of hitting from McCullum. It's a big time, able to get on back on first base. He's been hot lately. His average is now just under the 300 mark.
And you can just kind of see all the fans. We got a nice shot of the fans behind home plate tonight, and it is like that all the way around.
Yeah, and it's exciting every time Carson Schrack steps up with that walk-up song of his.
Schrack lines that one. Making a leaping play is Alex Matchey. McCullum gets back, so Schrack with a very good barrel, but a nice play by the Crop Duster second baseman.
Not much you can do about that. Just got to go back to the dugout. Tell yourself it's just about the process, you know.
That's going to bring up Ike Book, who has been injured for most of the season, but making his 3rd appearance in the last 4 games.
Yeah, unfortunate for Ike Book, his last game, he had 3 hits, but it was against the U.S. military war dogs, so those stats didn't count for him.
There goes McCullum for second. A good jump, and he's going to get in safely.
Still a really good toss there by Caden Samler. So both catchers, Felix and Samler, showing off the gun early on.
Yeah, he didn't steal that base from the catcher. That was a good jump on the pitcher. Maybe was able to time him up. But that was a perfect throw. Would not have gotten Trevor McCullum right there.
It's nice when you get that jersey nice and dirty in just the first inning.
His mom's going to love that. Here's the 1-0. Book takes a breaking ball that was about 55 feet. 2-0. Mustangs with an off day tomorrow. Really a plethora of off days for the Mustangs, something that has not been apparent all season.
Yeah,
here's the 2-0.
A team who at times has played 13, 14 games straight this year. They just had 2 off days already this week. They're getting a 3rd. I'm sure they're enjoying it.
Be 2-1 count now. The Mustangs DH Ike Book. McCullum on second. Very good speed. A hit should score him. This one fouled off the foot of Ike Book, so it's a 2-2 count now. outfield is pretty deep, especially the left fielder, Charlie.
Yeah, and Ike Book, he definitely hits well. He's not known for his pop, per se. More of a singles, doubles guy. But yeah, the Crop Dusters are pretty far back.
So here's a 2-2 again to Ike Book. Youth delivers. This one rolled over through the 3-4 hole. Making a play is Alex Matchey deep in the hole. And I thought that ball was for sure getting into right field, but a nice play by Alex Matchey. And Ike Book is retired.
Yeah, credit to Uth for getting all the way over there. Sometimes the pitcher's not alert, not able to hustle over there, but if he's not there, there's no chance that they're able to get.
Now, good PFPs, especially for a speedy guy from the left side. Great play by both Alex Matchey and Bobby Uth. We go to the top of the second now. The score all knotted up at 0. Don't St. Joseph Mustangs broadcast. Caden Sandler leads off the top of the second for the Warren County Crop Dusters. He's behind the plate tonight.
Yeah, Sandler had the day off yesterday, which I was surprised by, but him starting today makes sense now. He has 19 RBIs, and he has a pretty dang good slash lines. We'll pop it up on the screen for you.
He makes up for the 246 average, for sure. Charlie, can you explain more about the slash line and where you want to be in each category?
Well, I think batting average goes without saying. You want to, really anything about 270, you're having a pretty good season. The on-base percentage, Sandler's is in a really good spot. He's able to get on base about 39% of the time, and that's pretty good if you really think about it. And then slugging, that just shows how powerful a guy is.
That is a breaking ball from Roy Holcomb, strike 3 on the corner.
Yeah, Sandler was not able to get on base there, but the slugging, that's more of a way to show power. And with the slugging, if you can get it up a little higher than what Sandler's is right now, it's pretty dang good. But Sandler, again, his slash line is pretty solid.
Yeah, I think the dream is to be in the 3-4-5 slash line. That is at least a 300 average, 400 on base, and a 500 slugging. The only guy that comes to mind in both lineups right now is Dom Felix, I think, has the 3-4-5 slash line.
He does.
So Jack Pettit, and 1-1 count. Holcomb out of the windup, but does tend to work quickly in between pitches. Breaking ball popped up over to the right. Jackson Glick going to take a look, but it's just out of reach for him.
Glick pretty fast for his size, but not quite fast enough to make that play.
Darius Freeman was chugging along too. He almost had a play at that as well. Jack Pettit, a guy that we didn't really know too much about, but looking at his stats are pretty solid.
Yeah, they are pretty solid. He's got a .414 slugging. He leads the team with 5 doubles. He's got 16 hits, 11 RBIs.
Well, they're not doing much there as Roy Holcomb back-to-back strikeouts to open the top of the second. Both swinging and both on a slider.
Yeah, when you look at the Crop Dusters lineup, I would tell you the 4 and 5 hitters, Caden Samler and Jack Pettit, are the number 1 and 2 hitters in this lineup, but Roy Holcomb clearly just does not care. He mows right through them.
So Tyler Mayer checks in. He's playing first tonight. Slider from Holcomb just downstairs. Here's the 1-0. Foul back. Oh, Charlie, there's a little bit of, I wouldn't call it a shakeup in the standings, but can we flash the scores from today?
Absolutely.
So the Athletics and Merchants already completed their game, and the Merchants love to play good against good teams, I guess. So the Mustangs now hold a 4-game lead on the second-place Clarinda A's. That's huge, Charlie.
Yeah, that's a big loss for the A's. Not one that they wanted to have. And for the Mustangs, it gives them just that much more breathing room, as last night it looked like they were going to be the ones getting upset. But instead, they're able to pull off the immaculate comeback, and it's the Athletics getting upset. And a team like the A's, who was already trailing and needed to almost be perfect in order to get that 1 seed, now it almost seems impossible.
This one fouled back. So the Mustangs have not yet clinched first place, but that loss from the Athletics makes it a lot closer and really very likely. So Holcomb ready for the 2-2. Already has 2 strikeouts this inning. Let's see if he can strike out the side in order. That one lined over Mason Holton's head. So it's going to take more than 3 batters to get out of the second inning, and now Carson Chiprez is going to dig in.
Yesterday with Landon Reith, we saw him in his first inning get 2 outs pretty easily, and then everything kind of fell apart for him as it all went bad. So you want to see Holcomb right here stay focused, stay locked in, and not let any more batters, come to the plate this inning.
The biggest difference I'm seeing between Reith and Holcomb right now is Holcomb, when he misses, is still pretty competitive. Reith had a lot of pitches that were considered waste pitches, and the batter can almost take a breath and not have to worry about enticing a swing. This one grounded toward the 5-6 hole. Deep in the hole is Mason Holton. It's going to take a great play to get him at first, and Glick pulls his foot. I thought Mason Holton had a web gem.
I don't know if Glick pulled his foot or if it beat out. It was close.
Definitely didn't beat him out. I mean, at least it shouldn't have beat him out. He was definitely out.
Yeah, I agree. It was just it's hard to tell. We have the pull on our way from here.
That took a perfect play to get him at first, and it almost was. So it'll be an infield single for Carson Chiprez, and Diego Morales had a pitching appearance last night. Now gets to hit with 2 guys on. Breaking ball in there for a strike.
Yeah, Morales last night was the pitcher who came in, walked Dominic Felix on 4 pitches, and then balked while Mason Holton was batting and ended the game.
And it was indeed a balk. Charlie and I looked back at the footage. We were really confused at the time, but it looked like Diego Morales didn't come set. As soon as he got his hands in a ready position, he went before they were movement. That one I thought was strike 3, but Morales able to foul that one off.
Yeah, so Morales' stat line looks a little interesting as he finishes with no innings pitched and 1 walk.
No earned runs, though, so ERA for that game is still 0. Here's the 0-2 again from Roy Holcomb. Takes a look at second, takes another look at second. Fouled off.
Yeah, the earned runs on that one go to Jackson Cornett. He gave up 3, and he also didn't record a single out. Yesterday there was 3 pitchers for the Crop Dusters who came in and didn't get a single out.
And look at the walk numbers. I mean, there was 8 walks on the Crop Duster side.
8 walks, 11 hits, 19 runs, only 14 earned. But just a mess of a game for them.
And normally when you put up 9 runs, you think you'd be pretty good shape, but they got mercied. Fastball hit pretty well, but going foul by the Mustangs bouncy house. So Roy Holcomb got Diego Morales to 0-2 quickly, but Morales not letting him go easy.
The thing you like about Holcomb is he's still going after him. You know, he's not down in the count. And when you're up 0-2, it's okay to throw a ball. 1-2 is not the end of the world. And in fact, sometimes it's a good thing too. Is right now this might be the situation where you wouldn't mind to see Holcomb go out of the zones. Morales is in swing mode. He's shown it, multiple foul balls. You see if you can get him to chase right here.
Holcomb gets the sign. Here's the next 0-2. He did just that, but Diego Morales not biting. So it's a 1-2 count. And this should be the 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up.
And despite not getting the swing, still, again, not a bad pitch from Roy Holcomb.
Tyler Mayer at first, Tyler Mayer at second, Carson Chiprez at first. Mayer getting a pretty good secondary over there. Another breaking ball and another take. 2 on, 2 out, and a 2-2 count in the second.
A lot of twos.
Holcomb needing the strikeout pitch. He has 2 already this inning. Slider's been working for him all day. Just needs to throw one a little bit closer to the zone. And time is called.
It's a pitch clock violation on Roy Holcomb.
Wow, do we have a pitch clock listed anywhere?
We can't see one from our view, but I guess you see lasers on the umpire's belt. I would imagine that is what the pitch clock is set on.
3-2 count, both runners go. This one grounded to Jordan Black at third. It's off his glove. And that's going to be very costly as Tyler Mayer comes in to score. Carson Chiprez goes to third. That should have been the third out of the inning.
Well, it should have been, and even if you do mess up the play, you need to keep it by you as Mayer had come to a complete stop at third base. He was not going home. The ball rolled all the way into shallow center field, and Mason Holden, who was also going for the ball, was nowhere to be found. Just a really unfortunate time for Jordan Black to make an error.
This sounds very familiar, Charlie. A pitcher getting a couple outs to start the inning for the Mustangs against the Crop Dusters. And next thing you know, there's 1 run in and 2 more on with 2 outs. I've only been able to get 2 outs past couple games. So first pitch strike to the 9-hitter DJ Harris, and he was another pitcher you mentioned that did not record an out.
Yeah, Harris, he didn't have any issues with the walks, but he gave up 2 hits, hit 2 batters, and let 6 runs come.
This one rolled over to Holton. Holton going to go to first, and he makes the play. So the Crop Dusters get 1 thanks to a Jordan Black error, and we go to the bottom of the second inning. Hopefully the Mustangs can come back.
Tonight's free broadcast of the game is brought to you by Caleb Wells and HLC Insurance, located here in St. Joseph. HLC Insurance specializes in helping individuals, families, seniors, and small businesses with all things health coverage, including dental, vision, prescription drug coverage, and life insurance. To schedule a free consultation, call 816-273-4216. Again, that's 816-273-4216. Or visit hlcinsurance.com today.
Welcome back to the friendly confines of Phil Welch Stadium. Dom Felix leads it off here for the Mustangs in the bottom of the second. And Charlie, let's take a look at Bobby Youth's stats, starting pitcher for the Crop Dusters. What can you tell me?
Well, his stats nowhere near the regime of Roy Holcomb's. Still not terrible, especially for this Crop Dusters team. As Youth is one of the best pitchers the Crop Dusters have to throw at you. He only has thrown 16 innings on the year. That's because he doesn't start much. He's making his second start of the season right now. But the ERA and whip in pretty comfortable spots. He has more strikeouts than walks. His opponent batting average is a little on the high end, but that's about it.
The shortstop Eli Ellsbecker. Dom Felix not known for his feet, and he's thrown out by a step.
But overall, Uth, I think he'll be a good match for this Mustangs lineup.
And really, when you give up 19 runs the night before, you need a guy to shut you down. So, Charlie, you mentioned this is his second start of the season. How can it be different for you to normally be out of the bullpen to then start a ball game?
Well, the main difference is how much time you have to warm up. So Uth maybe used to only having, a 20-minute notice as to when he's going out in the game, whereas when you're starting, you kind of know when you wake up typically. You know the entire day. It might affect what you eat, might affect how you warm up. It changes your routine. It's a big difference. A lot of pitchers don't like going back and forth, and they like being one or the other. So it'll be interesting to see if it affects him at all tonight.
Youth holding his own so far. Here's the 1-1 to Mason Holton. Breaking ball grounded to Ellsbecker again. Holton better on his feet and is still out by a step. Eli Ellsbecker holding down the shortstop position nicely tonight.
Yeah, good play. Had to go all the way to his right to make that one. Fielded it on the forehand. And a strong toss, which was required to get speedy Mason Holton.
Again, two plays that weren't easy. And that was a big difference between last night is not only the Crop Dusters struggled to find the plate on the mound, but they also weren't very good defensively. First pitch to Bruce, check swing, the appeal, and they said he went around.
You're talking about a lack of defenses. Yesterday, the Crop Dusters committed 4 errors.
Here's the 0-1 to Bruce. That one taken in the dirt. Easton Bruce, slow start to the year, but looked a lot better last night. He hit a ball deep in the track with the bases loaded and then had an RBI single with the bases loaded again. That misses outside, 2-1 count to the Washburn left-handed.
Yeah, Bruce, only the one hit, but had a run scored and 2 RBIs last night.
Here's the next pitch. Inside, so after going ahead 0-1, Bobby Youth is now behind in the count, 3-1. Charlie, I've never seen Phil Welch like this. This is actually incredible. I mean, there's no facet of the stadium that's not busy right now.
Yeah, the stands are packed, but they are a lot of the time. But even down that first base sideline, or excuse me, the first base foul line, it's still absolutely packed. I mean, it's shoulder to shoulder.
Party deck out there in right field. I didn't even know you could fit that many people up there. Bruce with a good barrel out to deep center field. Going back in his Archer Ogborn, and he makes the play.
Yeah, Bruce just needs to pick a new part of Phil Welch to hit the ball. He likes to hit the ball very hard to the same spot every time. And unfortunately for him, it's about 10 feet inside that right center wall.
Easton Bruce in the last week has probably had 3 balls that have had home run distance just to the very deep part of Phil Welch. If he's able to turn on that one down the line, he would have almost the team lead in home runs. So it's YMCA time here at Phil Welch, and we will see you in the top of the 3rd inning. Welcome back to Phil Welch Stadium. Tyler Brindo and Charlie Marshall on the call. And while we have the chance, let's look at the defensive lineup for your St. Joseph Mustangs. Jackson Glick at first, Carson Schrack at second, Jordan Black at third, Mason Holton, who made a nice play earlier at short, Easton Bruce is in left, Trevor McCullum in center, Darius Freeman's in right, Dominic Felix behind the plate, and on the mound, Roy Holcomb. Ike Book is your DH.
Yeah, a pretty typical lineup for the Mustangs. When you look at that, there's really nothing out of the ordinary. Solid defenders all around.
So this is the leadoff man for the Crop Dusters, Archer Ogborn. He started out the evening with a hard single to left field, but then was thrown out trying to steal second. He shows bunt and takes a pitch for a strike. Ogborn, the taco hitter tonight. This one popped up to first base. Jackson Glick calls for it. And there's one out here in the top of the third.
Holcomb got beat by Ogletree in his last at-bat because of a pulled fastball there. He attacked him all the way, and it worked out pretty well as he had to fly out in foul territory.
And Holcomb threw a lot of pitches his last inning, so it's nice to get a two-out out here in the top of the third. Two-pitch out, excuse me. So digging in is Alex Matchey, and that pitch misses down and away. That one upstairs, 2-0. This is the second of a three-game series, if you want to call it. The Mustangs and Crop Dusters head to Des Moines on Monday after the Mustangs took a 19-9 victory last night.
Yeah, it's pretty rare to see a three-game series include an off day in there, so a little mink league turn-up.
Holcomb, 3-0 pitches in there for a strike, 3-1. So, Charlie, what is your opinion on the 3-0 take?
I think there are situations.
Hold that thought. That one's lined up to McCullum, battling the sun, but makes a nice play, and that is not going to show up on camera as to how difficult that actually was.
Yeah, McCullum, one of the only players I'm trusting to make that play in this Mustangs lineup. I mean, you could see off the bat, immediately had trouble with the sun, putting the hand up, used the glove to shield his face. And on top of that, it being a line drive, already a tough play for an outfielder to make because he has to come in on it.
Whenever, as an outfielder, you have to find the ball again, whether it's turning your head or a ball that's in the sun, to pick it up late is very impressive. Now, Charlie, back to the 3-0 take.
Yeah, there's situations where if you have the right hitter at the plate and it's the right spot in the game, I don't mind the 3-0 swing. But in my opinion, about 95% of the time,
that one's lined to Glick, so Roy Holcomb with a very easy third inning. I don't know if you get to see that because Rally was in our camera. There really wasn't much to see. It was a soft line drive to the right side, but Holcomb out of the third inning, no problem. We go to the bottom of the third. The Mustangs try to get back that run they lost. Welcome back to Phil Welch Stadium as we can show you the Crop Dusters defensive lineup here tonight. Tyler Mayer at first, Alex Matchey at second, DJ Harris at third, Eli Ellsbecker, who has flashed some leather tonight, he's at short, Jack Pettit in left, Archer Ogboard in center, Carson Chiprez in right, Caden Samler behind the dish, and pitching to him is Bobby Youth, who's so far had pretty smooth sailing through these first 2 innings.
Yeah, Uth has really looked solid throughout the first couple innings. Now, will he be able to continue it like so many have failed to do here at Phil Welch?
Yeah, his starting pitcher for the Crop Dusters yesterday looked pretty good through the first 3 innings.
Yeah, Luke Greth started out the game really sound.
Really, Greth, compared to everyone else, actually pitched
Greth
very well.
Didn't have a terrible start. He threw 5 innings, gave up 4 runs, 3 walks, 1 strikeout, which, again, isn't great. But when you look at it compared to the rest of the pitchers for the Crop Dusters, it was definitely the best outing.
Yeah, there were guys that couldn't even get outs, and Cole Sonnenberg, he was in the lineup, but he gave up 4 runs in an inning and 2/3. So
yeah, well, poor Sonnenberg, it's tough to hit twice in a game and then be thrown out into the fire. He came in with the bases loaded, and he kind of fell apart.
Here's the 0-2. Black hits one down the line. It's going to stay fair. Black rounds first and trips. Jordan Black thought he had extra bases, but the turf monster got him, so he's going to have to settle for a single. It's one of those plays that happens to everyone.
Yeah, of course, for Black, a little unfortunate as it happens in front of about, 6,000 people right here at Phil Welch tonight. But hey, he'll take the base hit.
He will, especially for a guy we know has the capability to have a great season. He hit .344 at Johnson County, one of the best JUCOs in the country. Here, he probably got his average back over the 200 mark. But he could be a very key piece if the Mustangs want to make a championship run. So Jackson Glick digs in. You mentioned 3 RBIs last night, or 4?
He had 4 RBIs last night, 3 of them on 1 swing.
Bases clearing triple deep in the right center gap. Here's the 0-1. Fastball inside. He takes a look at first. Jordan Black, a little bit of speed, but not a guy you'd expect to go. Glick waves at that breaking ball. Strike 2.
Sometimes as a hitter, you finish a swing and you almost don't know how you missed it. And I felt like that was Glick's reaction after he swung through the fastball.
Eyes light up. You expect it to go a long way, and next thing you know, it's in the catcher's mitt. This one off the hands, goes to third base. They go to second for 1. Glick hustling down the line is safe. So a fielder's choice to the third baseman, DJ Harris. The Mustangs now have 1 out with a runner at first.
Yeah, and Glick hit that ball pretty hard. Harris took a little bit of time, but for the most part, it was a well-turned double play. But again, Glick just moves well, and so he's able to dig that one out.
Yeah, ball wasn't hit that hard, but the third baseman, DJ Harris, playing a bit in. Darius Freeman, a prolific power bat for the Mustangs, also likes to drop one down, and with a third baseman behind third base, let's see if he does that right here.
This is a Darius Freeman bunt situation.
He's not going to show there as that ball taken downstairs.
And you really never know when he's going to show. That's what makes his bunting ability such a threat, because at times he'll put one over the short porch, and then his next at bat is a bunt. You know, you just never know when it's coming.
He's going to take that breaking ball, catches the upper inside corner. That also opens up holes in the infield when a team now knows you to bunt. Third baseman gets a couple steps in, and that is all you may need to squirt a ball to the left side. Here's the 1-1. Downstairs again, 2-1.
Well, Freeman yesterday tried to surprise the Crop Dusters with a bunt, and yesterday he tried it twice, wasn't able to get it down either time, but the Crop Dusters have taken a little bit of notice as Harris is playing more in than a typically, a third baseman would.
Big hack from Freeman. Freeman started out the year very hot. He's cooled off a bit. The one thing I noticed, there's a swing and miss in his game that wasn't there before.
Well, he's still hitting over 311 with a slash line of 45. So he's doing pretty well for himself. But yeah, he was hitting over 320 for a little bit this year.
He's rung up. Darius Freeman didn't like it. Umpire with not the biggest strikeout call, but whatever the case may be, there's 2 outs now.
And we haven't seen enough punch outs tonight to judge the umpire's strike 3, but that one, it looked like he had about 0 confidence in himself with that punch out.
Yeah, Freeman stared him down a bit, and it could have just been that he didn't hear him call for it. Usually if an umpire calls strike 3, it'll be known to the batter.
Well, it should be known to about everyone in the stadium.
I didn't hear a peep. That one almost gets a piece of McCollum. I don't really know how he got out of the way of that.
Well, he got hit yesterday in that upper shoulder neck area. It caught the top part of his front delt.
But who didn't get hit yesterday, Charlie?
That's true. But McCollum not trying to take one up there again.
It's a 1-0 count. Glick still at first. Fastball downstairs. 2-0. McCollum singled his first time up. Line drive to right field. Hoping to do more damage here. There goes Glick. Pitch is taken outside. Close play. And I don't know if it would have been called out or not if he secured that ball, but the ball goes off the second baseman Alex Mechie's glove.
Yeah, we can't tell from here, like Tyler said, but Glick might have just saved himself by knocking the ball out of the glove.
And in the process, looks like he lost his belt.
It looks like I might have snapped on him.
So Jackson Glick going to rock the Invisibelt the rest of the night, or at least till he gets back to the dugout.
That's Glick's 10th stolen bag on the year.
Man, you look at that guy, you wouldn't expect him to have double-digit stolen bags, but we talk about it all the time. Glick, a very nimble guy for his size. Here's a 3-0. McCullum takes on a pitch that was pretty close. He was pretty confident it was going to be ball 4, and it was.
Glick is now the 8th Mustang into double-digit stolen bases on the year.
Oh, we have the chance. Let's look at the stolen bases leaders in the Mink League. The Mustangs were ahead in this category for a while, but they were overtaken by the Clarinda A's, who now have the Mink League record. They broke it from last season, which was also their record. Carson Schrack takes that one outside. Excuse me, the Mudcats had the record last year, but it was broken by the Clarinda A's, and they have 3 guys over 30 stolen bags. That's incredible.
Well, something to notice is the year before that, the Mustangs set the record with 165 stolen bases, and then the Mudcats at 171, and now the A's. So that's back-to-back years where that stolen base record has been broken. So stolen bases at every level in baseball are clearly becoming a bigger and bigger part of the game.
Although the bags here aren't bigger, as they did that in the major leagues. Also a pitch clock violation, so it's 2-0 count now to Carson Schrack.
Yeah, we see the pitch clock violation about, I don't know, maybe once a week. More likely, we've probably seen it 2 or 3 times the entire year, and we've seen it twice tonight already.
Bobby Youth slipping on that one. Let's hope he's okay. That looked pretty painful. It's a 3-0 count now to Schrack.
And this is one of those situations where I don't hate a 3-0 swing. You have Carson Schrack, one of your better hitters, up with 2 outs, a runner in scoring position where you're going to need a base hit.
Schrack taking 3-0 as that was on the outside corner, so probably a smart take.
Yeah, and you're never going to hate on a 3-0 take, but again, that was just one of those situations where it might have been acceptable.
Yeah, if you're swinging on 3-0, it has got to be your pitch. And you are looking to put up multiple runs on the board with one swing. Here's a 3-1. This one grounded up the middle, over the head of Bobby Youth. Eli Ellsbecker with another tremendous play. Goodness gracious, Eli Elsbecker has locked down shortstop all night so far.
And Gold Glove defense from Elsbecker so far tonight.
And it has helped preserve the shutout for the Crop Dusters. 1-0 is the score as we go to the top of the fourth. Keep it here at Phil Welch Stadium. Tyler Mundo and Charlie Marshall welcome you back to Phil Welch Stadium. We have a 1-0 ball game here. Start the top of the fourth. Digging in is the catcher, Caden Samler. Holcomb with a very clean inning his last time out.
Yeah, the only run so far has been unearned for the Mustangs. So Holcomb just showing he's pitching very phenomenal as well.
Here's the 1-0. Fastball hit to Holton. Bobbles still has a play and no trouble at all. So not the cleanest out, but an out nonetheless. So far, the play at shortstop on both sides has been great.
Yeah, Holton bobbled that one, but Sandler not the fastest out of the box for the Crop Dusters.
Holton another chance here. That one takes an awkward hop. That one's probably not his fault. That thing shot up once it hits the dirt.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Holton. If that hop comes 2 feet earlier, it's kind of a birthday hop and an easy play for Holton. Instead, it comes right when Holton stuck his glove out to field the ball, and it shot up to about the level of his head.
Yeah, almost a good thing he didn't get in front of that ball.
Yeah, that one could have been pretty painful for Mason Holton.
He might need some dental work with HLC Insurance. 1-0 count now to Carson Chiprez. Excuse me, Tyler Mayer. Carson Chiprez waits on deck. Here's Holcomb's next pitch. Fastball downstairs. Dom Felix takes a look at first. Jack Pettit back no problem.
Felix doesn't backpick to first too often. So when he does, he must think he sees something in Pettit, maybe potentially stealing, maybe lackluster and getting back. Didn't work out there, but I do like the idea.
Another move to first.
Pettit only has 4 stolen bases on the year, so not exactly a threat to steal, but the Mustangs still very worried about him.
That one taken right down the middle.
And if you're Meyer, taking a pitch like that down the middle never makes you feel good, as now he has 2 strikes, and he has to open up that zone a lot.
Here's the 1-2. Fastball, ground to second base. Should be an easy double play. They go to Holton for 1 and over to Jackson Glick for 2. Roy Holcomb works out of it. So we're going to head to the bottom of the fourth now. Holcomb dealing so far tonight. Let's see if the Mustangs bats can wake up.
This free broadcast of tonight's game is brought to you by Caleb Wills and HLC Insurance, located here in St. Joseph. HLC Insurance specializes in helping individuals, families, seniors, and small businesses with all things health coverage, including dental, vision, prescription drug coverage, and life insurance. To schedule a free consultation, call 816-273-4216 or visit hlcinsurance.com today.
Welcome back to the St. Joseph Mustangs live stream. It's the bottom of the fourth. Ike Book leads off. First pitch breaking ball from Bobby Youth is upstairs. Youth has looked pretty good tonight, Charlie. What else have you seen from the Crop Dusters right-hander?
He has looked good, and he's dominated early in counts. He has not fallen behind like a lot of his teammates did yesterday, which is why he's had so much success. He's down 0-2 or 2-0 to Book right here, but to me, the one thing I'm going to continue to look out for is now he's facing these Mustang hitters for the second time through the order, so I wonder if he's going to change. You know, is he going to stay leading with a fastball? Will we see more breaking balls from Youth? Or what his approach is second time through the order?
Looks like he took some off of the 2-0 pitch. Ike Book swings right through it. Now with Youth out there, you're pretty confident if you're a Crop Dusters fan, but that bullpen is where we start to worry. Here's the 2-1. That one taken outside, 3-1.
Well, we saw the Crop Dusters, go-to reliever, if you will, yesterday in Cole Sonnenberg. As when he came into the game yesterday, he had already had 30 and 2/3 innings pitched, and he pitched another inning at 2/3. So he's thrown a lot out of the bullpen for the Crop Dusters.
Ike Book with a 5-pitch walk to start the bottom of the fourth might be the spark the Mustangs needed.
But still, did not find any success whatsoever yesterday, like all the relievers did. So, yeah, the bullpen for the Crop Dusters really in question.
Dom Felix digs in, hoping to add on to his tremendous season so far. First pitch breaking ball just off the inside part of the plate.
You're getting a look at that 3-4-5 slash line that we talked about earlier. Dom Felix, again, the only player in either lineup tonight showcasing that.
OPS over 960. That's up there in the Mink League. The only guy I could think of off the top of my head with a higher one is Kai Holiday. So a guy who's been around the zone all night, Bobby Youth, walked Ike Book and is behind Dom Felix 2-0.
Yeah, and just when I began to talk about how Youth was doing such a great job tonight, not falling behind these Mustang hitters. He does it to back-to-back batters.
Book on first. He's got some pretty good speed over there. 2-0 to Felix. That one on the off the outside corner. So 3-0 count. So Charlie, we talked about the 3-0 a lot. What would you do here? 3-0 take?
This is a take sign if I'm Johnny Coy on third base.
Looks like it was, and it was on the corner, so 3-1 count now.
And despite the hitter taking it, you can always tell whether or not the batter is thinking about swinging or at least willing to swing. As Felix there kind of had that bat on the shoulder the whole time, never was really too interested in anything Youth was going to throw.
Here's a 3-1 now. This one grounded up the middle. Eli Ellsbecker goes to second for 1 and on to first for 2. So another double play here. Eli Ellsbecker responsible for almost half these outs.
Yeah, and that one more routine in terms of plays made tonight by Ellsbecker, but still, anytime you're turning a double play, you got to make sure you don't take your eye off the ball, focus on getting the first out before the second out, and everything was well done by Ellsbecker right there.
I think you can make the argument he's been one of the best shortstops we've seen at Phil Welch all season.
Well, he's had so much action. He's had so many opportunities to make difficult plays, and every single time he keeps doing it.
So Holton down in the count 0-1. That one grounded to Ellsbecker again. And the announcer jinx is real, Charlie. It really is. Eli Ellsbecker with an error right there, but has still had a pretty solid game over there.
I mean, I did not see that coming, but Ellsbecker, what he did wrong right there was all his other plays tonight, he's had the field while moving. And we see Mason Holt, we talked about that. Some guys are more comfortable doing that. Ellsbecker almost too comfortable. As there, he needs to set his feet. It's a routine play hit right at him. Get behind it, left, right, throw, shuffle. It's easy, basic play, and Ellsbecker tried to make it more difficult than it was, and it went right under his glove.
Mason Holton runs pretty well, but not a guy that you really need to rush the throw. Take your time, make a strong throw, and you probably get him out. That's going to bring up Easton Bruce. Good swing his first at bat, flat out in the right center gap. Big hack by him, and it's 0-2. I'm rooting for Bruce. I really am. He has hit the ball very hard the past couple nights and has nothing to show for it.
Yeah, I just hope Bruce can find somewhere else in this ballpark to put a baseball.
What's the old adage? Hit them where they ain't. Bruce doesn't like to do that. This one out to right center, but it's going to drop in front of the center fielder, Archer Osborne. Misplayed, so it's going to be first and third now on the single.
Yeah, and Bruce, of his last, I think, 5 at-bats, one of the weaker contact points made, and that's the base hit. So all you can really do is laugh if you're Easton Bruce. You take the base hit.
That's the thing with baseball. You can hit a 110-mile-an-hour line drive at someone, and you could hit a 70-mile-an-hour flare out to the outfield. And one's going to leave you on first base, and one's going to leave you in the dugout. So Jordan Black now, he's 1 for 1 in the night with a hard hit ball down the line, slipped trying to advance to second, so he was able to stay at first with a single.
Yeah, and those hard hit balls, they do even themselves out. It's statistically proven the harder you hit a baseball, the more likely you are to get a base hit. Although sometimes the 70-mile-an-hour flare just works out.
Here's the 1-0 to Jordan Black. Bruce not going at first. This one hit pretty deep in the gap. Going back on it is the right fielder, Carson Chiprez. And almost colliding with his counterpart, Archer Osborne. But he makes the play, so the Mustangs have gotten guys on tonight, but cannot seem to get their first run. It's going to be 1-0. Go to the top of the 5th. Keep it here at Phil Welch Stadium. Carson Chiprez leads off the top of the 5th inning for the Crop Dusters in a 1-0 game that has been the exact opposite of the night before. Not only is it low scoring, but it's a lot faster.
It's a lot more exciting to watch. When you think of a game like yesterday where a team makes an 8-run comeback, scores 18 unanswered runs in a row, you think excitement, but just the way it happened wasn't the most exciting, and it's kind of hard to say that, but 12 hit batters, so many free passes. Hits came, but not really in bunches. It was just a really weird night, and tonight, much more of an entertaining game, I would say.
Much more well-played ball game, too.
Yeah, baseball is just fun to watch when it's played at a higher level, and it's being played at a higher level tonight, and that's just the best way to put it.
And there's a difference between a high-scoring game and like a bloodbath where a team strikes for 3-4 runs here, a couple extra base hits, and then where both teams are just walking. This one flied out to Darius Freeman, and he makes the play, so Carson Chiprez is retired. Diego Morales digs in. His first time up had the error to Jordan Black, which resulted in a run. Holcomb's first pitch looked like he put a little more on that one, but it misses outside.
So with Morales reaching on the air, that also means that as we enter the 5th inning, there's still yet to be a player record an RBI tonight.
That one hit hard, but fouled down the line.
As if you drive in a run on an error, you don't get credit for it.
Now, Charlie, can you tell me the other way someone cannot get credit for an RBI if a run scores when they're hitting?
A pass ball or wild pitch?
Well, that's true. That's not the one I was going for.
Could it be some sort of catcher's interference?
No, I'll give you a hint. It has to be with the bases loaded.
Has to be with the bases loaded. Maybe a balk?
Or a runner on first and third.
A balk?
No. Well, again, that's true, but that's not the answer. Like the batter puts the ball in play. Anyone in the chat know this? How can a run score without an RBI if a guy puts a ball in play and it's not an error?
Yeah, that's a tough question. I'm not sure. I'm kind of interested to see if anyone else knows this because
this isn't even the trivia question, Charlie. Although the trivia question tonight has nothing to do with baseball, I can tell you that right now. It's a full count now to Diego Morales. Dirty breaking ball swung on and missed. Roy Holcomb picks up his 3rd K of the evening.
Yeah, not a great looking swing by Morales. Went fishing in the dirt. Typically not very fun.
That's a good one, Charlie. Not many fish down there, huh?
Yeah, you're not going to find much if you go looking.
But to answer your question, Charlie, since I don't think we're getting any responses, the way a run can score with the ball being put in play would be a double play. If you ground into a double play, it doesn't count as an RBI, even though the run scores.
I did know that.
Well, you didn't tell me.
I just forgot.
That's what I told my teacher in my exam, and it didn't work.
You didn't get the points back?
No, I did not, Charlie. So the umpire's going out to the mound right now. Charlie, is it a good time for trivia?
I think it is. I really
Charlie, it is Taylor Swift night, so that is the theme of this question. Which was the first studio album released by Taylor Swift? Charlie, this is an easy question.
I think I'm the wrong guy for the question. I'm not exactly sure. I don't think you would name an album after yourself. So I'm not sure
this
if
one
Taylor
grounded
Swift.
to Jackson Glick, fields it on a couple of hops. So Charlie will have his answer when we come back. Keep it here at Phil Welch Stadium. Welcome back to the friendly confines of Phil Welch Stadium here in beautiful St. Joseph, Missouri. Tyler Mundo joined alongside Charlie Marshall. And Charlie, we had a trivia question for you when we last left off.
And yeah, I was mentioning how I wasn't really sure. I know Red's a big album of Taylor Swift's. I've heard of that one, and I don't think anyone would name their first album after themselves. I'm not sure, though. So it kind of leaves me with Speak Now and Lover. And to be quite honest, I'm just going to ride with Dale in the comment section, and I'm just going to go with Speak Now.
Well, Charlie, that is incorrect. You are not a real Swiftie. We are here on Taylor Swift night, and I'm really disappointed in your answer. Charlie, our song, Teardrops on My Guitar, Tim McGraw, are you kidding me? How do you not know that Taylor Swift's first album was Taylor Swift? Really disappointed with you.
You know, I'm upset with myself. That's the first trivia question I've gotten wrong in a couple attempts. I was pretty hot.
Well, you may know baseball, but I guess you don't know Taylor Swift. And you were telling me before that you did know a little bit of Taylor.
I thought I did, but I guess not.
And I didn't think that was that hard of a question. 2-2 count now to Jackson Glick. He reached on his fielder's choice his first time up.
And Glick dug out that double play and then stole second. So if I were to tell you someone's digging out double plays and stealing bases, you're probably not imagining Jackson Glick.
Bobby Youth gets the sign on the 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball. And Glick got a piece of it. All right, then, Charlie, who's your favorite artist?
No, that's a really good question. I'm a big country music fan. I like Kenny Chesney a lot. But maybe Morgan Wallen. There's a lot of country artists that I'm a big fan of. Eric Church, Bailey Zimmerman. I like all those guys.
Well, Taylor Swift's first album was country, and you're not a real country fan because you didn't know that her first album was Taylor Swift. Here's Jackson Glick now on the 3-2 count. Fastball, hittable location, but it's chopped out to second base. And no problem for Alex Matchy. So the Mustangs' bats have been pretty silent so far tonight.
Well, they have been. And they like to start heating up about the 5th or 6th inning typically. So it's only a matter of time, I would like to think, before these Mustang hitters get hot.
If you were wondering, Speak Now was the second studio album from Taylor Swift. And there are a lot of famous songs in that one. Change. That one lined to the second baseman, Alex Matchy. So Darius Freeman retired on just one pitch. Trevor McCullum, the only Mustang who's had a lot of success here tonight. As he has a single and a walk, he's reached twice in his many plate appearances.
He's reached twice, but he's yet to get past first base.
That is also correct. Mustangs have left 5 guys in scoring, 5 guys on base this game thus far. And McCullum has been there twice.
Of the 5 runners left on base, 4 of them have been left on first base.
Here's the 0-1 to Trevor McCullum. And a good breaking ball gets him swinging a pitch in the dirt. Anyway, in Speak Now album was mine. That's a pretty popular song, Charlie. I'm still going on this because this is kind of fun for me.
I think you're just really expressing your knowledge.
You know the song Mean, Charlie?
No, I don't think so.
Why you gotta be so mean?
Oh, I do know that one. Yeah, thank you for singing it.
You're welcome. Tyler Mundo doing karaoke. Charlie, I had a stat for you over text. As we'll get to it after. That one swung and I missed by Trevor McCullum. So Bobby Youth, 5 shutout innings here for the Crop Dusters. It'll be 1-0 as we go to the top of the 6th. Keep it here on the St. Joseph Mustangs broadcast. Welcome back to Phil Welch Stadium, as we have word that Speak Now is the third studio album. So, Charlie, I don't know any more Taylor Swift than you do.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in you.
I believe Fearless was the second album, and that was the one with You Belong With Me. You know that one, Charlie? That one hit deep into left field, going back, Easton Bruce. And that one's a fair ball down the line. So the leadoff man, Archer Ogborn, with a double off Roy Holcomb here to start the sixth. That is the fifth hit surrendered by Roy Holcomb. Archer Ogborn, his second hit of the night. Alex Matchey is now up. Jackson Glick in watching the bunt. Matchey going to show bunt, but it's not going to be necessary. That ball gets past Dom Felix. And it's a runner on third now and still no out. Actually, interesting. I didn't know Mason Holton was a Swiftie. He didn't really give me a Taylor Swift vibe. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Alex Matchey. 0 for 2 on the night, but he's up in the count 2-0.
One of the few times tonight Holcomb's fallen behind just a little bit.
Here's Holcomb's 2-0 offering. That breaking ball in there for a strike. Works the count back to 2-1. Breaking ball downstairs, so Holcomb in a bit of trouble now as he's behind 3-1. Really, since the second inning, Roy Holcomb has been smooth sailing.
Well, even in that second inning, he really didn't run into many issues. He had a 2-out ground ball hit right at Jordan Black.
Slider misses upstairs, so it's a walk here in the sixth, and the Crop Dusters have runners at the corners now and still no one out. It's worth noting that all but one inning so far for Roy Holcomb has been 1-2-3.
Yeah, something I think that's a fun conversation that we could have is yesterday, at this point in the game, when we were in the top of the sixth inning, we were at about 2 hours and 45 minutes of game time. Tonight we're sitting at the top of the sixth inning, and we're an hour and 30 minutes, not even, into the game.
Yeah, but at the time it was, 12-9, and tonight it's 1-0. Charlie, while we have a second, let's take a look at the Mink League standings, and we mentioned briefly there was an upset.
We did. So Clarinda fell to Carroll Merchants, and if you look at the Merchants, it's, they're just one spot above the Crop Dusters, and they're a team that the Crop Dusters are hoping, might lose. So if you're a Crop Dusters fan, not a great outcome for you. If you're a Mustangs fan, you're really going to like Clarinda losing. It kind of buys you an extra game, if you will.
The Mustangs would have to lose at least 4 games the rest of the way. So go under 500 their last week of baseball.
I don't see that happening.
No, so they haven't clinched first place per se, but it would take an absolute miracle for the Clarinda A's to overtake them. Now, Charlie, why is that 1 seed so important?
Well, it's important because, especially this year, you play the lower seed once you get to the second
this
round.
This one lined over the head of Mason Holton. He got up, but not enough. This will be 2-0 Crop Dusters.
You play the lower seed in the second round. And this year, there's 3 top, cream of the crop teams that are clearly much better and have separated themselves from the rest of the league. You can see that the Renegades, the A's, and the Mustangs, they're the only 3 teams who are even above 500. And so if you're the 1 seed, you get to play one of the lower quartile teams in the playoffs. Whereas if you're Clarinda and you get the 2 seed, you're probably playing Jeff City in the second round, and that's a tough game.
That's going to spell the end of the day for Roy Holcomb. A pretty good start. Just a rough end to it. Johnny Coy going to go to his bullpen. You can see the playoff bracket if the season were to end today.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Clarinda's going to have to play, the higher seed, or I guess not the higher seed, the higher ranked team. So it just makes an easier route to the Mink League Championship if you're able to get that 1 seed. And this year, it's even more crucial than ever.
All right, we're going to take a short break as the pitcher's going to get warmed up here in a second. We'll tell you all about him when we come back. Caden Samler set to face the new arm for the Mustangs. It's Trenton Roller, a guy who's had success but has not had a lot of pitching time. Charlie, tell me more.
Yeah, and that's a good way to put it.
This one grounded to Mason Holton. Could be 2. He goes to Schrack for 1. And Samler called out at first. So Trenton Roller, 1 pitch and 2 outs. No better way to start your afternoon.
I guess we'll tell you about him next inning. Or just kidding, 2 outs. So, Trenton Roller on the year hasn't pitched a lot like Tyler mentioned, but he's pitched good when getting an opportunity to. And his last out was against the Crop Dusters, so he's pitched against them and he picked up the win. Through 5 innings, didn't give up a single run, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. And that brought his ERA down to 1.29 on the year.
So Jack Pettit digs in now after the twin killing. Roy Holcomb's final stat line, 5 innings pitched, 6 hits. He's given up 2 runs, 1 earned, but is responsible for the guy at third. He walked 1 guy, struck out 3, and faced 21. It's a 1-1 count now to Jack Pettit. This one hit hard to center field. McCullum thought about diving for it, but instead it's going to fall in front, and the Crop Dusters extend their lead to 3.
Yeah, unfortunate. Roller got the first 2 outs with a runner in scoring position, so did the really hard part of getting out of the jam, but then gives out the 2-out base knock. And the Crop Dusters grow their lead.
That run goes to Roy Holcomb.
This is going to be Roller's 8th inning pitched on the year. And only his 3rd appearance.
Tyler Mayer takes a pitch up and in for ball 1. It's a little late now, Charlie, but I thought Caden Samler was safe at first in that double play.
It was bang, bang. It's tough to tell from up here.
This one hit pretty deep out to right field. Darius Freeman going back on it. Got a good jump, and he makes the play. So Roller gives up 2 runs. Gives up a run from Roy Holcomb, but gets out of it. So it's 3-0 Crop Dusters. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Keep it here at Phil Welch Stadium. Carson Schrack kicks off the bottom of the 6th for the Mustangs, who usually at this point are trailing and usually start to pile on some runs. It's been a story all year.
Yeah, nothing new for the Mustangs right here.
Bobby Youth out for his 6th inning of work and has looked fantastic tonight, which is not typical pitching performance for the Crop Dusters. Charlie, after this pitch, let's take a look at the ERA leaders.
Well, I can tell you already that on the year, the Crop Dusters' ERA is a lot higher than it is tonight.
So the Mustangs lead the way. They had a 3.12 ERA going into yesterday, but the 9-run ball game increased it by 18 points. Schrack takes that one off the outside corner, so he's up 3-0.
Yeah, despite the Mustangs' ERA shooting up, still well below anyone else in the entire Mink League at a respectable 3.3. Now the Crop Dusters, on the other hand, 6.99, and a lot of that is because of the bullpen the Crop Dusters has, but they haven't been getting the craziest starts either. Tonight, much different, as Uth has absolutely shoved for Des Moines tonight.
Schrack 3-0 take on a pitch that looked pretty hittable, but in a situation like this, you're down 3, probably a smart one.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about tonight about 3-0 swinging or not, and that's a situation where there's no reason to swing. I like to tell myself, base runners, not bombs in a situation like this.
Schrack with a big cut on 3-1. Breaking ball. Good pitch from Youth, and he's battled back to draw the count full.
Shows you how quick baseball can turn on you. You're up 3-0, sitting pretty, and all of a sudden you have an ugly one-strike swing and things start to get a little questionable.
Well, all he did was make him throw 2 more pitches, so it is a 6-pitch walk for Carson Schrack. Ike Book stands in. Despite having a pretty good start, that was Youth's 3rd walk.
Yeah, that's really been the only thing you can knock him for tonight is the 3rd walk. But yeah, clearly it hasn't bothered him too much. He's been able to pitch around it, only giving up 3 hits. And that's the reason he's been able to walk guys just a little bit and get away with it.
Book was one of the base on balls given up from Bobby Youth. In the 4th inning, he drew a walk. His first at bat, he grounded the ball to second base, and Bobby Youth with a great play as a pitcher, running over to cover.
And when Ike Book walked, he was also the leadoff batter.
Book hits this one a mile just toward the parking lot.
Yeah, that had a green high under written all over it.
There is a guy getting loose in the Crop Dusters bullpen. I assume they'd want to see Bobby Youth work out of this inning at a minimum.
Well, it makes sense. You know, when you think about, we've talked about the trend for the Mustangs all year. If you're head coach Trent Hogworth, you're probably just getting guys ready. You saw last night you were up so much late in the game, and it still wasn't enough. So I would imagine, even though Youth has pitched really well tonight, still probably a shorter leash just because of what happened last night.
Breaking ball misses downstairs, so it's a 2-1 count out of Ike Book. Now, Charlie, when you're coming in as a reliever, how different is it to have a clean slate in a new inning, and how hard is it to come in when you have to inherit runners?
Well, it's much easier, obviously, if you come in with no one on. But there are guys who don't mind coming in with runners on and are able to work around it.
Book going to ground this one to the shortstop, Eli Ellsbecker. He goes to second, and they get the force out by Schrack by an inch.
That was a close play. Ellsbecker kind of had to go to second as he had arranged pretty far to his right just to make the play. I don't know if he would have had Book at first. Thankfully, he was able to get the lead runner.
But yes, Charlie, with a reliever coming in with traffic, you also don't have the calmness of a new inning. You have to worry about people coming, and it doesn't go against your ERA, but it goes against your team.
Yeah, but in a way, you can almost take it as, you know, a challenge. You know, you're coming in to you, your stats aren't going to be inflated, and it's giving you an opportunity to really showcase your abilities. If you're able to get out of those situations where you don't give up a run, it gets you a lot of respect.
That one hit to the 5-6 hole. Dom Felix with a shot to left field. So Mason Holton will get a chance of 2 on and only 1 out. Crop Dusters coach going to pay a visit to the mound.
Yeah, and again, a 3-0 lead, 1 out. With how well he's pitched, typically this isn't a spot where you would go out and talk to your pitcher just because, you know, he's dealt with a little bit of traffic throughout the night and been fine. But just with how this team works, you know, I don't blame him for making sure Youth is comfortable and letting him know, you know, the bullpen's ready if needed.
So Holton, 0 for 2 on the night, reached on an error his last time and ground out to the shortstop. So both balls have been hit to his opposing number, Eli Ellsbecker. On deck is supposed to be Easton Bruce, but I see Frank Gall taking swings on the on-deck circle. Holton with a big swing, but not much to show for. This one's skied out to left field. And Jack Pettit makes the play, so Holton retired on just 1 pitch after the mound visit. And now it's going to be Frank Gall digging in.
Yeah, and Gall pinch hit twice yesterday. And he struck out with the bases loaded in his first pinch hit opportunity. And then in the second time, he proceeded to get beamed.
Frank Gall with an incredible start to the year. And still an average above the 350 mark. But it has dipped significantly.
Yeah, Gall average over 400 or 300, on base percentage over 400, and slugging over 400 as well. So, you know, he's one of those guys. He's probably the next guy in line in terms of players who are close to that 3-4-5 slash line that we've talked about tonight.
First pitch to Frank Gall. Fastball. Looked pretty good from here, but it missed somewhere.
Yeah, an extra base hit from Frank Gall would do a lot for him and this Mustangs team right here.
And for Bobby Youth, this is probably his last batter of the evening. Here's the 1-0 to Gall. This one hit deep out to right field. Going back at it, Carson Chiprez, and it's caught right in front of the party deck. I thought Frank Gall had it, but he comes up about 5 feet short. And the ball game is still 3-0 in favor of the Crop Dusters. We're going to head to the top of the 7th now. Keep it here on the St. Joseph Mustangs broadcast. Carson Chiprez digs in for the Crop Dusters after he made a play on the warning track. Frank Gall nearly tied this ball game, but came up just a couple feet short.
Yeah, and unfortunate for Frank Gall, I thought he was going to have one of the most electric pinch hit at-bats in Mustangs, history right there. 3-run game-tying blast off the bench.
With 6,000 people here, Charlie. We'll get an exact number later, but it is packed. Roller behind 3-0 to Carson Chiprez. He's 1 for 2 in the night with a single off the glove or that was the one that came up and bounced near Mason Holton's head. Chiprez doesn't wear it, but gets to first base on the 4-pitch walk. So that's going to bring up Diego Morales. His first pitch misses upstairs. Trenton Roller gets wild a little bit. In his 12 innings of work, has 6 walks. Morales is 0 for 2 on the night. And there's a strike there. There goes the runner from first, Dom Felix. A pretty decent throw. Did he get him on the foot? He did not. Carson Schrack, close attempt on the stolen base, but throw just a bit up the line. So it's a 2-2 count now with a runner at second.
Yeah, Felix missed his second caught stealing of the night by about 2 inches.
That can make all the difference. That one lined out to second base. A great stop by Carson Schreck. Throws him out on a knee.
Snow
That
cone.
saved a run right there.
It absolutely did. You could see it from here. It was hanging out the top of Schreck's glove. We talked earlier how important for everyone, including Carson Schreck, being an elite second baseman is, and he showcased his abilities right there.
Not only are there a lot less free passes, but the defense, the complete opposite of last night. Both teams looking really good there. Brings up the 9-hitter, DJ Harris, and he takes a breaking ball in there for a strike. Here's the 0-1. Roller's pitch, up and away. This one makes DJ Harris look silly. A breaking ball got him way out in his front foot, and it's 1-2. Infield is in.
Yeah, this is
for
a
the
big
Mustangs.
opportunity for Roller and the entire Mustangs team.
Breaking ball blocked well by Felix.
Roller, a pitcher who is familiar with the punch-out, could really use one right here. He has a devastating curveball that he could go to if he wants it.
That runner on third. Dom Felix has to be a wall. He goes with a fastball instead. It's tipped into the glove of Dom Felix, and Trenton Roller just 1 out away from working out of the leadoff walk.
Yeah, and the leadoff walk is standing on third base. And, a runner on third base with less than 2 outs scores about 65, 70% of the time. So Roller trying to do something that, the odds well against him.
He's got a tough task, and Archer Ogborn tonight, who's 2 for 3. He's going to bunt. It's going to go foul. Man, that was really close. Felix jumped out of the crouch to make the play.
Yeah, Dom Felix knew exactly what he was doing with that. Archer Ogborn very, very fast out of the box for the Crop Dusters. And obviously, if he's going for a bunt hit with 2 outs and a runner on third, so Felix shoots up extremely quickly, not allowing that ball to reach fair territory.
Archer running down the line. It would have been a very tough play for Felix to get him.
I don't know if there would have been much of a play.
But all that was is a foul ball. So it's 0-1 to Archer Ogborn, who is the taco hitter tonight, but the Mustangs haven't had much success against him. Might have a chance here as he checks his swing, and it's 0-2 to Archer Ogborn.
I've had my, a couple of bats against Trent Roller in high school, and he's a pitcher. You saw right there. He makes the batters very uncomfortable with his curveball. It's, a really good one.
See what he goes to here. Got the previous hitter on a fastball. Breaking ball. Archer Ogborn gave it a look, but pulled his swing back. It's 1-2.
Yeah, that was like less than a check swing, but he definitely thought about swinging.
And that's what you want to do as a pitcher, is entice hitters. That's why it's also important to throw close pitches on 2 strikes as opposed to waste pitches. Here's the 1-2. Line drive to Mason Holton, speared on a hop, and he makes the play. So Trenton Roller gets a little hype, why don't you? Couple nice plays from the defense gets him out of it. So 3-0 is your score as we go to the 7th inning stretch.
This free broadcast of tonight's game is brought to you by Caleb Wills and HLC Insurance, located here in St. Joseph. HLC Insurance specializes in helping individuals, families, seniors, and small businesses with all things health coverage, including dental vision, prescription drug coverage, and life insurance. To schedule a free consultation, call 816-273-4216. Again, that's 816-273-4216. Or visit hlcinsurance.com today.
New pitcher on the mound for the Crop Duster spells the end of the day for Bobby Youth, who had a great day. 6 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 3 walks, and only a strikeout. Faced 25 guys, but shut down the Mustangs' offense completely. Now on the mound is James Jefferson. Charlie, tell me more about him.
Well, Jefferson, he's thrown 19 2/3 innings on the year. He's made 7 appearances, but 4 have been while starting. So what that tells me is the Crop Dusters have...
Well, he has Jordan Black on his first pitch, so that's not a great start to your evening.
Well, that tells me is the Crop Dusters are tired of watching their bullpen blow the game. They're going to a guy that they've seen, start the game and have success a lot this year. And on the year, he has a 4.12 ERA with a whip under 1.5. Although, yeah, we saw the wildness right there as he hits Jordan Black. But he also, with the lack of control comes some, good stuff, as he has on the year 23 strikeouts to just 17 walks. So both pretty high.
High strikeout, high walk, not a lot of hits given up. Usually a recipe for a reliever, but you mentioned he's a guy that usually starts games for them.
And Jefferson's 23 strikeouts, the only player he's behind is Cole Sonnenberg, who has about 14 more innings pitched than him this year.
Here's the 0-1. This one from Jackson Glick fouled off to the left. Speaking of strikeouts, Charlie, why don't we take a look at the Mink League strikeout leaders?
Well, you won't find James Jefferson on the list, if we can go to it right here. But you will find a bunch of other pitchers who have dominated this year, and the Crop Dusters much farther below than the Mustangs. 335 strikeouts compared to everyone else in the league is just phenomenal.
Almost 100 more than second place. Glick, hard up the middle. Eli Ellsbecker with a great play, but the throw gets away. Tried to do too much, did a great job of getting to that ball, but could not make the flip to Alex Mechie at second.
Yeah, that's a tough play for Ellsbecker. He ranged all the way up the infield, all the way to his left, and just, while moving, struggled with the transfer. And the Mustangs are going to take that, as they're in prime position to come back in this one right now as Darius Freeman stands in.
Eli Ellsbecker had an error a couple innings ago, but has looked fantastic at short. Just could not make the play there, and that would have helped them out a ton. That potentially could have been a double play. Darius Freeman looks to square around, takes that pitch downstairs. Freeman 0 for 3 on the night so far.
And Freeman, when bunting, always going for a base hit, but in this situation, as a Mustangs, coach or player or even fan, you just want him to get the runners over.
At a bare minimum. Let your Trevor McCullum help you out next. That one's bunted in front of the catcher. The pitcher's going to take it. And miscommunication. Darius Freeman with a bunt single. We sound like a broken record, Charlie, but the Mustangs, who trail going into the 7th, look to start a rally again.
Well, they've definitely started the rally. Now we're asking them to finish it, as they've loaded the bases with no outs. And again, it looks like it's the Crop Dusters bullpen that's going to be letting them down.
And Charlie, we have a second. The Mustangs are on the road next week. 4 games in a row away.
Yeah, they're on the road versus the Crop Dusters, on the road versus the Bombers, Mudcats, and then the A's. So, big road trip coming up for the Mustangs before they're back at home for the final 2 home games of the year next week.
They play the Crop Dusters again, I believe.
Crop Dusters on Friday next week, and then Clorinda for the final game of the season.
And if there's some magic for Clorinda and the Mustangs have to struggle, that last game may determine the 1 seed, although it looks like the Mustangs have all but locked it up.
Yeah, the Mustangs need to worry about what's going on right here before we worry about Clorinda next week.
So McCullum digs in. He's 1 for 2 of the night with a walk and a single back in the first. He's down 0-1 to James Jefferson. Swing and a miss, so Jefferson after the mound visit goes right after McCullum, and he's ahead 0-2.
And if you're Des Moines, you love to see that from Jefferson. Not wasting any time with the bases loaded.
Sometimes pitchers do better in the heat of the moment. They want these situations to be theirs. They trust no one else but themselves. Here's the 0-2. Up and in. McCullum's had a couple of those the past couple nights.
And he's certainly had his fair share of pitches up near the head area.
Center fielder Archer Ogborn playing pretty straight up. The 2 corner guys playing a little farther back. Here's the 1-2 to Trevor McCullum with the bases loaded. Breaking ball. Good fight. That heads toward the parking lot. Count will remain 1-2 on a crowd that is still going very strong here, Charlie.
Yeah, well, they're waiting for that Mustangs comeback as well as the Taylor Swift tickets giveaway in the 8th inning.
1-2 again to Trevor McCullum. Fastball, close. Attempting to frame that was Caden Samler, but it misses outside. Probably the correct call.
Yeah, sometimes as a catcher you can do too much. You want to make the pitch look good, but you don't want to drag it across the batter's box, and that's what Samler did there. A little too much glove movement, and that's why he's unable to get the strike call.
So here's the 2-2. Fastball fouled off to the right.
And Jefferson's bringing it pretty good velocity-wise, so pretty impressive from McCollum to stay on it. The fastball as well as the breaking ball stay alive in this count.
You mentioned 23 strikeouts in 19 innings, good for a 10.53 K per 9. That is up there with the best of them. Two again. Good breaking ball. Gets McCullum looking, and he is pissed off about it, barking at the umpire.
Yeah, that's one of the bigger reactions we've seen all year.
In the heat of the moment, too, in the situation, it probably feels a lot worse. If that's a bases empty at bat, you're probably not going to be so frustrated, but he felt like the bat was taken out of his hands. But now the bat is in the hands of Carson Schreck.
No one better if you're the Mustangs. Schreck has come through and it matters all year.
There's that. He has one of the most at-bats on the team. No, he does have the most at-bats on the team and only struck out 3 times. So striking out 3 times in every 120 at-bats. Or striking out 1 time every 40 at-bats. That's elite.
Well, Schreck second on the team in RBIs with 23, but in this situation you want a guy like Schreck who's going to put the ball in play.
This one fouled off to the left, so 1-1 count. We have to talk about that, Charlie. At this league, to strike out 1 time every 40 plate appearances, every 40 at-bats, excuse me, that's incredible.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, you can talk about home runs, RBIs, all you want. Never striking out is hard to do, and Schreck has mastered it.
Here's the 1-1. This one fouled back, so Schreck hoping to not fall victim to the announcer jinx. He's down 1-2 with the bases loaded. James Jefferson came into this inning as the new pitcher, gave up a hit by pitch, an error, and a infield single but has gotten Trevor McCullum out via the strikeout and Carson Schrack down 1-2. This one grounded to shortstop off the umpire. And what happens here?
Well, what's going to happen is the Mustangs are going to catch a huge break. That ball off the bat of Schrack had 6-4-3 written all over it. Instead, it's off the umpire's leg, a dead ball. Every runner advances one base. The Mustangs get a run, and they are still loaded for Ike Book.
Wow. What do I score that?
It's umpire's interference. They say the umpire's part of the field. You just have to play it.
Wow, the Mustangs should buy a lottery ticket. That looked to be the end of the inning. Ball was hit hard, but right to Eli Ellsbecker. That's incredible. So Ike Book gets a chance now with the bases loaded. And we're back. We are back. Sorry about that. Because I don't know if we were there for the umpire interference or not, but whatever the case may be, Ike Book, 1-2 count now. Two and two now. Biggest situation in this game thus far. Bases loaded, 2-2 count to Ike Book. Here's the pitch from James Jefferson. This one hit pretty well toward the right center gap. Should be deep enough to score the run. There goes Glick. Throw is cut off, so the Mustangs do get another run. That makes it 3-2. So Ike Book with a sac fly and an RBI.
That's a big at-bat for Ike Book. He had 2 strikes on him most of the at-bat. Couple tough foul balls, able to stay alive. And then comes through in a big way, brings in another run this inning for the Mustangs as they've gotten 2. So already a successful inning, and now they're trying to tie things up with Dom Felix.
And a good guy to do that. Schrack on the move there, but that one fouled out by Dom Felix. Felix 1 for 3 on the night, but a laser single his last time up. This is his first time facing James Jefferson. That pitch behind. Dom Felix coming home as Darius Freeman. And that ties the ball game up at 3. Crowd is going berserk here at Phil Welch.
Yeah, the crowd sure got loud. And when you have this many fans here, you know, excitement is even more exciting.
Schrack also moves up to second on the play. So Dom Felix was trying to tie this ball game up, but now with Schrack at second has a chance to give the Mustangs the lead. Here's the 1-1 to Felix. This one grounded over to first, but a tremendous play saves this game for the Crop Dusters. Tyler Mayer going up the ladder on a weird hop on the ground ball. And the score will remain 3-3 as we go to the top of the 8th. Keep it here on the St. Joseph Mustangs broadcast. Yeah. Welcome back to Phil Welch Stadium. We just heard the attendance. So the previous record was 4,533. Charlie, how many fans do we have here tonight?
Well, it sounds absolutely electric in here, and that's because there's 5,831 Mustang fans in Phil Welch tonight.
And this atmosphere has been tremendous, and you don't get the full effect here on the broadcast. This broadcast booth also drowns out the noise pretty well, but if you're down on the floor here, oh, it is almost no better place to be. Think about it this way, Charlie. We probably get more fans here tonight than the Oakland A's did.
That's crazy. I mean, it's true, though. The average attendance for the A's is in the 6,000s, so that's a Major League Baseball team that in Oakland, so a much bigger city, that, the fans here in St. Joe are almost able to outdo. And there's been games this year where the A's have had less than that. So, without a doubt tonight, the Mustangs have attracted more than MLB crowds at points this season.
Well, a crowd of almost 6,000 getting to watch a treat here. As it's 3-3 in the top of the 8th. Michael and Franca takes over pitching duties. And the Johnson County Community College product misses high to Alex Matchy.
Yeah, and Franca, a true reliever. 12 appearances on the year, now 13, and all of them have come out of the bullpen. The left-hander has a 4.11 ERA on the year with a whip at 1.
This one popped up, second baseman Carson Schrack, but it's going to be Darius Freeman taking the pop-up. So, and Franca with a good start to the night has the first out of the 8th inning.
And when you hear a guy's whip being almost below 1, but an ERA at about 4, my thought immediately goes to, well, he's allowing some home runs. But that's really not the case. He hasn't given up a home run yet this year. So what it most likely is just extra base hits and untimely hitting for Michael and Franca.
And Franca keeping that walk rate down. And really his ERA is a little higher just from the start of the season. He struggled at the beginning, but has been one of the best pitchers down the road for this Mustangs team. Trenton Roller came in, did not give up a run on his scorecard. That was Roy Holcomb's run. So also 1 hit and 1 walk and 1 strikeout. A lot of ones for Trenton Roller in his 2 innings of work. A little bit of delay here. Umpire went to talk to Infranca.
And this entire place just has a completely different feel to it now than it did a couple innings ago. As before, we were just kind of waiting for the Mustangs to tie this thing up, and now you can hear almost more chatter throughout the stadium. It's like everyone can take a deep breath.
Tell you what, Charlie, I wouldn't root against the Mustangs to not score in the 8th, but a walk-off win in this atmosphere would be incredible. Infranca to Eli Ellsbecker, 1-2. This one back off Infranca, off his glove. Mason Holton bare hands it, but no chance. So an infield single for Eli Ellsbecker, his 2nd hit of the night. And with his defensive prowess, has had a really good night for the Crop Dusters.
Yeah, Ellsbecker, usually a good fielder for the Crop Dusters, but where he lacks is the hitting department. Tonight, not the story, so one of the better all-around games for him of the season.
The Mustangs have 6 hits. The Crop Dusters have 8. But Charlie, we should look at the average leaders in the Mink League. Mustangs toward the top, and the Crop Dusters are not.
Yeah, the Mustangs second, Crop Dusters dead last. The 220 batting average, not ideal. And coming into the series, it was at 212. So they grew by about .08 points last night. And, they would like it for it to continue in that trend.
With 8 hits tonight, it's still going up.
Yeah, and doing it against, a staff as good as the Mustangs pitching staff is really surprising to me. Last night, a lot of wild, pitches or just lack of control, but still a lot of hits. Tonight, the Mustang pitchers look much sharper, but the Crop Dusters have continued to hit the ball well.
Now, the Crop Dusters offense has been fine this entire series so far. It's been the pitching and defense, and tonight it's been much better, and that's why we're deadlocked at a 3-3 ball game. Looks like it's a 1-1 count. This one hit well out to center field, but not well enough. Trevor McCullum goes back and makes the play, so it's 2 outs here in the 8th. Jack Pettit now, another guy with multiple hits. He has 2 of them with an RBI.
And Pettit, one of the better bats in this lineup. Slugs .414, and that's because he leads the team in doubles, but also gets on base at a pretty high percentage.
Jack Pettit went to St. Olaf College, and in 2 years batted .261 with a .419 on base and a .319 average. So a guy that finds ways on base, just not with that many power. And Franca went to Johnson County Community College.
And at Johnson County, he pitched really well. He had a 12 K per 9 and a 3.54 ERA.
And Franca even at the count 1-1.
As well as making a couple World Series appearances for his Johnson County Community College.
Here's the 1-1 to Jack Pettit. Eli Ellsbecker at first. That one grounded to short. Mason Holton goes to his left, bobbles it, but has enough time to corral it. So the Mustangs get out of the 8th inning without allowing a run. 3-3 is your score as you go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Don't go anywhere on the St. Joseph Mustangs broadcast. Mason Holton digs in. Start the bottom of the 8th inning. The Mustangs have come back to tie it thanks to a 3 spot in the 7th inning. James Jefferson back on the mound.
And we talked about in between innings when we saw Jefferson run back out there, Tyler, that, it's not common you see a reliever come in, blow the 3-run lead, and head back out there for a second inning of work. But Jefferson caught, a couple really unfortunate breaks last inning. And he looked pretty solid. And along with the Crop Dusters not having a very deep bullpen, those are all reasons why Jefferson's back out there for his second inning of work.
Oh, it doesn't look great here as he's quickly down 3-0 to Mason Holton. Holton 0 for 3 in the night.
But yeah, even with the reasons just mentioned, you would still have to imagine he would have a pretty short leash right now. Even to the point of where one walk might be the end of his night.
Here's the 3-0. And it's a 4-pitch walk, so the Mustangs have the go-ahead run on at first with no one out. So Frank Gall digs in. He came in to pinch hit in the 6th. Hit a ball to the warning track that would have tied the ball game up as they were down 3-0 at the time, but just short. So Frank Gall hoping to change his fortunes here. He squares away, and James Jefferson hasn't been anywhere near the zone to start this 8th. Here's James Jefferson's 1-0. And that makes it 6 straight balls to start the 8th inning. Catcher Caden Samler going to go talk to his pitcher right now.
Well, it's probably smart from Samler, a smart thing to do. That's now 6 straight balls. And you're taught as a catcher, a 4-pitch walk, you don't have to go talk to him, but if he starts the next batter with a couple balls, it's probably a good thing to at least go give him a breather. And I mentioned how short of a leash Jefferson might be on right now. And although Coach Romanchuk didn't walk out there, he's on that top step right now. And I kind of was watching him, and I saw him. He was sitting down in the dugout, and now he's leaning.
And he might be well on his way out. James Jefferson, 7 straight.
Yeah, not what the doctor ordered.
Third baseman DJ Harris playing almost closer than the pitcher James Jefferson right now, about 60 feet away, anticipating bunt. 3-0 pitch, 8 straight, and 2 walks. The Mustangs have runners at first and second, and no one out.
Yeah, and from here, it looks like Cole Sonnenberg is the right-hander warming up in the bullpen for the Crop Dusters.
And interestingly enough, after 8 straight,
I don't know.
James Jefferson is going to face Jordan Black.
I just don't understand how you can leave Jefferson out there.
Yeah, I don't mind him starting the inning, but the minute he walked Holton, you take him out, and definitely take him out now. And that's another one. And it's not like he's been close to the zone.
And typically, I'm not a fan of taking pitchers out in the middle of at-bats, but it should happen right here. And if it doesn't, then the result of this game it's going to change. It's going to falter.
Jordan Black, 1 for 2 in the night, hit by pitch, and a single to left.
You wonder how many times Jordan Black has been asked to lay down a bunt in his career.
He does just that. It's a pretty good one. Might have a chance to beat it out. James Jefferson throws in the dirt, but picked well over there by Tyler Mayer. So Jordan Black does his job. It's runners at second and third and 1 out for Jackson Glick.
And Jefferson's going to stay out there. And, after all the balls, he finally finds his zone. And this is an opportunity where I might leave him out there at this point. First base is open. If he walks some, at the minimum, you have a force out everywhere. And then you go to a guy who knows going to get you a strike. Or Jefferson, he's the more nasty of the 2 pitchers. And you're just looking for a strikeout.
First pitch to Glick, fouled straight back. Glick has faced James Jefferson tonight and reached on a ground ball up the middle. Great play by Eli Ellsbecker, but could not make the flip to second base to get the force.
It's also a really good play on the bunt by Jefferson. A lot of the times I see that ball go flying into right field.
Here's the 0-1. Fastball downstairs. Charlie, is there a reason why a lot of pitchers don't feel comfortable throwing the bases?
I think they're just so used to throwing, the ball home. It's not something they work on as, plays they might work on fielding work, maybe 5% of their practice, whereas the other 95% is all off the mound.
Here's the 1-1 to Glick. Oh, just missed it. Fouled off to left, 1-2.
And as bad as this inning has looked for Jefferson, he's one good pitch away from, it really feeling like he can work out of here without giving up a run.
And you have the base open, so you don't have to pitch Darius Freeman if you don't want to. He awaits on deck. Glick down to the count, 1-2.
Yeah, and after Freeman is McCullum, who Jefferson has already sent back to the dugout on the punch-out.
And that one doesn't catch a pizza Glick, and there comes Mason Holton for the plate. The Mustangs take the lead, 4-3 here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
I really thought that caught Glick's arm. At least it looked and sounded like it, but instead the Mustangs take the lead, 4-3 here Saturday night at Phil Welch.
I don't know how he got out of the way of that. It looked like he was making a beeline for his arm.
And that was a risk they took with leaving, Jefferson out there when he looked pretty wild.
So 2-2 count. The Crop Dusters now trail by 1. Glick hits it out to center field. At a bare minimum, it's going to score another run, but it's not going to do that. That ball gets down. Glick chugs for second. Ball gets kicked around over there, and Jackson Glick with a clutch double extends the lead to 5-3 now.
Talk about players who love the moment, and that's Jackson Glick. Back-to-back extra base hits when his teams needed it the most. Great piece of hitting from Jackson Glick. He did it last night, and he does it again tonight.
So the 2 walks from James Jefferson come around to score. Jordan Black's sack bunt moved them over, and then a wild pitch and then a double, and the Mustangs find themselves up 5-3 after scoring 5 runs in the last 2 innings.
And, I would be lying if I said I didn't see this coming from the Mustangs tonight.
Freeman, big hack. That one's fouled off.
With this crowd being so large, I just want Darius Freeman to put one out here, and I just want to listen.
That's the thing. It's been a 5-3 game, but the way these guys have scored hasn't been the most exciting. The wild pitch, not something fans will go absolutely crazy for. If Jackson Glick did that before the wild pitch, people would have gone nuts.
And it still got pretty darn loud in here.
James Jefferson, shall this game hold on will be credited for the loss. Bobby Youth, who went 6 innings and shut the Mustangs down, is now offered the no decision. Here's the 1-1 to Freeman. This one fouled off to the left. Freeman 1 for 4 in the night, reached on a bunt single his last time against James Jefferson. That one outside, 2-2. Glick looked like he was faking a steal to third right there.
I'm not sure if he really was. I mean, he was definitely, acting like it. But I would be really surprised if Glick took off for third base right here. He already has 1 on the night.
Here's the 2-2 to Freeman. This one lined up the middle, past Eli. Glick going to be held up at third, so that ball goes past Eli Ellsbecker. And Darius Freeman with a very hard hit ball, but it was hit too hard for Jackson Glick to score. We runners at the corners now for Trevor McCullum. Trevor McCullum digs in now. He's 1 for 3 on the night. He had a single and a walk his first 2 times up, and then has struck out in back-to-back plate appearances.
Yeah, that second strikeout came against Jefferson on the long at-bat.
Freeman takes second. Ball's bunted by McCullum. Glick going to stay at third base. So, interesting idea where he doesn't get credit for the sacrifice because Darius Freeman was standing at second already. I don't really understand that. When you see your guy get that good of a jump, you pull that back, and then you become ready to have a couple RBIs.
Yeah, really inefficient bunt from McCullum. It didn't do a whole lot for the team as it was bunted right back to Jefferson. Glick had no chance to score.
So the Mustangs lead is at 2 right now, but Schrack could break it wide open. Here's the first pitch. Ball grounded up the middle. Alex Matchy goes to his right, stumbles, and a fantastic pick by Tyler Mayer.
Yes.
And it's 5-3, but could have been a lot worse. So the Mustangs are going to go to the top of the 9th with the lead at 2. Let's see who comes out of that pin for the 9th. Don't go anywhere on the St. Joseph Mustangs live stream. Five to 3 is your score. Tyler Brundo joined alongside Charlie Marshall, which has been an exciting one here at Phil Welch with a crowd of almost 6,000. Tyler Mayer leads off for the Crop Dusters, hoping to get on and start this comeback. Also, Jace Johnson closing it out tonight. Charlie, what do you feel about? How do you feel about that?
I mean, I don't hate the move at all. Johnson's been, the best pitcher, I guess, if you just look at stats on the year. I mean, he's been phenomenal. An ERA at about .47. I mean, it's crazy. His numbers are phenomenal. No Teixeira, who has 6 saves on the year. It leads the entire Mink League in saves. Sometimes pitching in the 9th inning can be tough, especially for guys who haven't done it before. The crowd's a little bit more alive than usual. Here at Phil Welch, you're going to hear the bells. Johnson had about 5 saves in college, so he's definitely done it before. I think he'll be all right.
It's a 1-1 count to Tyler Mayer. And he's ahead 1-2, Jace Johnson. One thing you could think about, too, is the 2 guys before you, Roy Holcomb and Trenton Roller, good life on their fastball. Then you got a guy in a different arm slot. Looks very different from the guys you've previously seen. Johnson thought he got him on strike 3. Dom Felix thought he got him. Jace Johnson thought he got him. Everyone thought he got him except the home plate umpire.
Yeah, well, I think the reason for the action was how quickly Felix stood up. And typically when a catcher's standing up that fast, he's ready to toss the ball around the horn.
So it's a 2-2 count. Tyler Mayer with another life. And that one outside.
Johnson on the year has not walked many runners. He's walked 6. And he struck out 21. So You'd like to see him get in the zone right now.
And that's outside. So Jace Johnson, who looked like he struck out Tyler Mayer, fired 2 more balls, and he reaches first base. Not what you want to see with the 2-run lead in the top of the 9th.
So now the tying runner is going to be at the plate all inning unless some sort of double play happens.
So that's going to be Carson Chiprez. And if you're looking at stats, this is the guy you want at the plate if you're the Crop Dusters.
We haven't talked about Chiprez much tonight. And that's just because he doesn't have quite a large sample size in terms of at-bats. But his stats, on the year are still very impressive. And he has a good amount of at-bats where these stats still hold a little bit of meaning.
Chiprez takes that one downstairs, so crowd not very happy. Jace Johnson has now fired 5 straight.
And if you're Jace Johnson, you just have to take a deep breath. Chiprez has 1 extra base hit on the year. So he's not going to go up here swinging for the fences to tie this game up. He's going to need help from his, other teammates. So just go at Chiprez. No other free passes. Get a double play like we've seen him do all year long.
Chiprez tried to change his game a bit and put that one over the left field seats. Instead, it's a 2-1 count now for Jace Johnson. Big thing with Chiprez, he has a 5.09 OBP, and tonight has reached base 2 of his 3 plate appearances. Good slider from Johnson. It's 2-2 now. This is huge right here. Another base runner. Things feel like they're slipping away, but a strikeout here calms the nerves for Johnson and the rest of this Mustangs crew. Breaking ball. Got him. Strike 3. Jace Johnson goes down 2-0, but throws 3 straight strikes to Carson Chiprez, and he goes down swinging.
Yeah, Chiprez giving Diego Morales a bit of advice, and if I was to guess what they were saying, I would probably say something along the lines of, watch out for that slider. It's pretty darn good.
So there's a slider there. That one misses way outside. So Diego Morales, 0 for 3 on the night, and not having a great year to begin with. Johnson throws a fastball in the inside corner, and it's knotted up at 1.
And Morales takes it for a strike, but that's a double play pitch. One of those that's going to run in on the barrel and sink down. Johnson put it exactly where he wanted to.
This one fouled off to the right, so it's a 1-2 count now. Tyler Mayer waits on first. He's the first baseman, doesn't have much speed, and the only reason he would be going is to stay out of the double play ball.
That's typically, right here in this situation, not necessarily not worth the risk.
Breaking ball, just missed. 2-2 count. Now, Jace Johnson not the quickest to the plate, but I still don't see the point in doing it. There's fireworks behind center field. Hopefully not premature.
Someone lit a couple fireworks a little early.
There's a fireworks show tonight. That one grounded. Jordan Black, Mason Holton takes it. And a strong throw gets Diego Morales. So Jace Johnson 1 out away now from securing the Mustangs win.
And here come the bells.
So the last guy standing between the Mustangs and a victory here tonight is DJ Harris, and he has not done well, 0 for 3. Something to note, the Taylor Swift contest giveaway, there's been 2 tickets now, and no one has claimed their prize. I'm about to go claim that prize. Free ticket to a Taylor Swift concert in Louisiana, in New Orleans. Here's the 1-0. Johnson to DJ Harris. Fastball cuts back to the zone, 1-1. Johnson gets ready for the 1-1. This one hit hard, but just foul. So it'll be a 1-2 count now.
Johnson just 1 pitch away from finishing off one of the better nights here at Phil Welch we've had all night long.
Here sounds the bells. Jace Johnson telling the crowd to get up. A crowd of almost 6,000, by far shattering our attendance record here tonight. Jace Johnson's 1-2. Breaking ball, breaks his back, grounded out to second, and Shrek misses the play. It took a tough hop. And what looked like to be the end of the game, the Crop Dusters put up a run and have the tying run at first.
Yeah, Shrek can't believe himself. That's a play we've seen him make all year long, and the ball did skip a little, causing Shrek to have a little giddy up, and the way he went to field the ball. But Johnson, not a young pitcher, he'll be all right. He'll stay as calm. Shrek makes sure he knows to let him know that's not him.
I guess they just want to make this crowd stick around a little longer.
Well, now things just get a little bit more interesting as the tying run is on first base.
Archer Ogborn is 2 for 4 in the night and has a double. First pitch is fouled off to the right. Right to a fan. Ball was hit right at him.
And now the lineup flips over as Ogborn's the leadoff hitter for the Crop Dusters.
Probably getting a little bit more speed out there with DJ Harris as well. Here's the 0-1. Slider, so it's 0-2 now. Hoping to take away Shrek's error and send these Mustangs fans home happy.
Johnson can really go anywhere here. He's set up for both the slider and the fastball.
Archer Ogborn, no strikeouts yet tonight. But he has one right here, taking it for strike 3. Archer Ogborn. Jace Johnson secures the save in a crowd of almost 6,000. The Mustangs win 5-4 here tonight.
A big win for the Mustangs. Jace Johnson looked phenomenal out of the bullpen. Hey, at the very least, Carson Strack gave Jace Johnson an extra strikeout tonight.
5-4 is your final. A much different outlook than the previous night, as that game was 19-9. Here, more of a pitcher's duel, 5-4. Todd Muno and Charlie Marshall will have the post-game show for you here after the break. Welcome to the Mustangs postgame show. I'm Todd Mundo, joined alongside Charlie Marshall, in which was a completely different night than yesterday. 5-4 win for your Mustangs in a well-fought battle. Charlie, tell me what happened.
I mean, overall, a much higher caliber of baseball we saw tonight from both teams. Shout out to the Crop Dusters. Haven't had the best year, but they really fought their tails off tonight. They lost it late like the Mustangs do to about everyone tonight, but overall, timely hitting, good pitching, those were the keys to the game tonight.
Really a staple Mustangs win. They go down early, stay down, 6th, 7th inning rolls around, and then the Mustangs strike for 5 runs in the 7th and 8th inning. So 5-3 is your final. Jace Johnson came to close it out. Really good pitching out of the bullpen today for the Mustangs.
Yeah, the Mustangs bullpen was just phenomenal tonight. I mean, they were starting. The pitching all around was really good tonight, and Franca looked good. Johnson looked good. Holcomb started the game really well. I mean, just a lot of guys that all looked locked in, something we didn't see a lot of last night, and really impressive stuff from everyone out of the bullpen.
Yes, there was also Taylor Swift night, which is why we had a crowd of almost 6,000 people, by far the most attended game here at Phil Welch. There are only 2 more home games before the playoffs. We are back here next Friday as we take on the Crop Dusters again.
A lot of Crop Dusters, so if you haven't got enough of them yet, you're going to get another game of them.
And then the biggest game of the season, if it gets to that point, is Clarinda, who lost yesterday. So the Mustangs now have a 4.5 game lead over the second place A's for that one spot. And the Mustangs go on the road, play 4 games, and then are back here at Phil Welch. So we will probably have a playoff picture come that time. Final score 5-4 here tonight on July 13th. And we will see you next Friday. Todd Mundo alongside Charlie Marshall saying goodnight from Phil Welch.